Well then, guys, good night. I can't just say that, can I? Hi everyone. Good morning, good evening, good day. Yeah, that's the best thing I can say. Good day to everyone who is here and who is not. I know the music is still a bit loud, but that's fine. We are still in the intro. And I'm kinda half asleep. I just woke up. I wanted to wake up like 2 hours ago, but the bed was way too comfy. Let me say that. You know that feeling, right? When you don't have to do anything and the bed is way too comfy to wake up. At this point, this is starting to sound typical. Well, it is. It's not something that is unusual to us. I'm checking if everything is alright in the setup. It seems everything is alright. And yesterday was the first time I actually read the title of today's chapter. And I mean too. You remember, Quill, I didn't read the chapter title last time. But now we did. It is the dark element of laughter. I guess the plan of card dealer, Karchak or double dealer, that's his name. The master is gonna go how he planned it, right? Are we ready to start? I'm testing my throat if I have everything ready, but I guess we can start. Oh, you just started only a chapter. Nice. You still haven't had the first chapter, but hey, we can do that soon. But let's stop this right here. And let's start. Skylancer, the first flying unicorn. Chapter 27. The dark element of laughter. The door to the TARDIS opened with its usual creak. As further wind, stirring, and Vision stepped outside to observe their surroundings. They quickly noticed it was too familiar. This was Canterlot, and it appeared to be the version Featherwind and Stirring grew up in. When Featherwind realized that, he widened his eyes and looked back at the Doctor. There was a reason they avoided this time period after all. When Featherwind noticed the Doctor hold the hoof up to block Derpy from exiting the TARDIS, Featherwind felt like he gained his confirmation. This was yet another farewell. In the background, Missy hadn't even tried to exit the TARDIS. She just examined herself with a small hoof mirror and painted her lips red with lipstick. As for Discord, he had already popped himself out of existence shortly after the other time clones faded away, claiming he had a tea party with the real Fluttershy that he was looking forward to. Seeing one of her time clones fade away in front of him put him in an almost desperate mood to catch up again with the real Fluttershy. So, this is it. Is it loud? Shouldn't be. Slow at it, just in case. But I've been realized. His voice sounding a little stunned. Doc? Don't be quiet. He shook his head. No. Not this time, my lovely assistant. Oh, the last music. There we go. I made it higher. Not this time, my lovely assistant. I'm simply completing the loop. I told you long ago that there were events in their history I could not mess with. True, I delayed it for 12 years, mind you. But it's finally time for them to fulfill their own destiny in their own time. And I, as a Time Lord, cannot interfere with that. Dr. Haggadah Featherwind, Starwing, and Vision with a glimmer of happiness, sadness, and pride. Now, I have done all I can to prepare you for the journey ahead. History did not say how you suddenly became so powerful or how you got that beautiful prism armor. He said with a nod to Stormwing, who was wearing it even then. In fact, it was starting to draw the attention of ponies passing by in the background on the streets of Canterlot. Obviously. Also, they were curious what the mysterious blue box was doing out in the middle of the street when they clearly recorded not being there yesterday, or even a few moments ago. When I read that, Dr. Van Tonnes he placed a hoof on his chest. I assumed that that was open for invitation for me to play some role in your story. And I have to say, it's been fantastic. Thank you, my dear friends, for accompanying me on this wonderful journey together. I truly do wish you all the best, but I'm afraid now is where we must part. Must we? Dappy cried a bit as she asked. Yes, my lovely assistant. They have their own path to follow, and I cannot interfere too much. If I do, eventually, it would grow too suspicious that they grew so old so fast. We had them up too long enough, probably longer than I should have, but even for me, it's hard to let go sometimes. I'm sorry, I truly am, but this is where our journey together must end. It already has been too long, I have to say. Rapper regarded her departing friends, then wheeled on their shoulder a bit, as she gave each one a warm hug goodbye. Out of all of them, it was Featherwind who came the closest to losing his cool, but he too figured out that it probably was time to move on. Likely, they were more than a little prepared to face Puppet Master than to move on to the pod Featherwind really dreaded, the Darking himself. To tell you the truth, facing the Puppet Master is a little bit easier than facing the Dark Star, wouldn't you say? This journey had well prepared them to face these threats. They had faced far worse. Dark Star, for example, was infinitely more powerful than the Dark King and the Puppet Master put together. But they faced the Dark Star down with a fairly sizable army at their backs, which also included the future temporal copies of Elements of Harmony and the Crystal Heart. Now, it was just the three of them again, but that was still likely to be enough. After all of the training, experience, new spells, new knowledge, new equipment, and new confidence. Thank you, Doctor, for everything. Featherwind said as he offered a hoof to the Doctor. After the puppy finished hugging him, Featherwind struggled to steady his voice as he spoke. He must have succeeded, but one could still hear it crack slightly if they listened carefully. No doubt, we should notice. Well, obviously. No. Thank you, my friend. Doctor shook Featherwind's hoof. You all have helped me to save many lives throughout the universe, not the least, which includes the existence of your own world. I could not have done this without all of your help, and of course you helped me to keep company during a small piece of my long journey. I forever will be grateful to you for that. Be well, my friends. Be well. Thank you, Doctor. I will try. Featherwind said warmly, then looked behind at Missy, and then called to her. How about you? Are you going to say goodbye to us as well? Goodbye, Missy said simply, without a glance to Featherwind. Instead, she went on to paint on the forward edge of her hooves. I will keep an eye on her, trust me, Doctor assured Featherwind. I haven't given up on hope that I can redeem her, and with the track record of this universe, I have more hope than ever that I will eventually succeed, and there will be 2 Time Lords heroes graviting across the universe. In your dreams, in your dreams. Only in your dreams with Princess Lula. Yes. Only in your dreams with Princess Lula, which is denied inexplicably in the background. Well, good luck with that. Featherwind said to the Doctor with a grin. You too, the Doctor said back. The happy entered back into the TARDIS, spun about, and kissed the waves goodbye, continuously as she said. Goodbye, goodbye, farewell. Be sure to eat less of delicious muffins, but not cupcakes. And the TARDIS doors closed, and shortly later the time machine faded away with a mechanical groan, then fading a higher pitched sound effect. Behind the trio, a gathered group of astonished onlookers gasped when they saw the mysterious blue books fade away. Heh, rookies, Featherwind said with a sly grin as he glanced back at the astonished onlookers behind them. You know what this means, don't you? Stammering death as she continued to stare, but the TARDIS faded away. Yes, Featherwind said seriously as he looked in the direction the TARDIS faded away. It's time for a final showdown with the Puppet Master, and then on to the Dark King. So, you plan on facing down the Puppet Master, huh? A familiar voice spoke somewhere nearby. Featherwind and Starwing and Featherwind both looked together, and were surprised to see Searing Wind standing nearby, leaning against the wall and twisting her apple up and down idly. Wait! Searing Wind? Starby asked. Wasn't that mean old former Wonderbot who saved your life tease you up to beat the Wonderbots? The same? Oh, the same. Featherwind confirmed. What was she doing there? Featherwind shrugged. Just passing by? Buying an apple, I guess. I don't think that's coincidence. Starbase. I'm afraid that this time our chance encounter was really just a coincidence, unless the Doctor dropped us off there at the time on purpose, to make sure we met up with her again. Searing Wind bit into the apple, then looked at the nearly arrived trio, with one eye wide, and the other narrow. She asked, Didn't Princess Celeste order you to be silent about the Dark Wizard's existence? You might want to consider continuing this discussion in a more private location. Oh, and by the way, nice costume, Starving. I really like how the color just shifts in the armor. How are you doing that anyway? How does she know about the Dark Wizard's existence? Nobody's gonna question that. I mean, yeah, she was in the Wonderboards, but still, she still shouldn't know about it. None of your business. Starving said to Sam with tersely. Not quite forgetting what Sam said to her husband all these years ago. Although, for Sam, it shouldn't have been nearly that long ago. Looking between her closer companions, Starving said, although she does have a pretty good point, let's continue this discussion up in the sky. Vision, ready your wings? Check. Vision reached back and pulled on a cord. A pair of kite-like wings ejected from her dimensional saddlebags. She thought about the security force. Simon was likely there to have seen with us from Papa Master before. Yeah, I mean, she was there to save them from the Papa Master, but she knows it's a Dark Wizard. And she quit, by the way. She has quit. A long time ago. Let's go, Starving said before hopping off into the air. Featherwind tucked his hoof into Miss Cloak and followed suit, and he also projected Wind underneath Fidon's wind glider to get her a sand as well. Wait, I'm coming with you. Sam Wind caught up. They leaped up in order to fly up with them. And she is not questioning why is another flying unicorn. Or wait. I forgot, is Vision just a nurse pony or a unicorn? I actually forgot about that. Because I remember flying Earth pony. That's what I was gonna ask. So why is she not questioning that? Because okay, unicorns can fly with magic, but what about Earth ponies? You are not welcome to join us. Starving said pretty tightly back to Starving. Where we are going is too dangerous for you. Oh, come on! I can help! Sam requested. You said that you once looked up to me. Well, give me a chance to prove to you why I deserve that honor in the first place. Look, I know what I said to your boyfriend or whatever was wrong, and I want a chance to make it up to you all. Besides, if it's a dangerous situation you're after, then I'm no slouch at it myself. I can look for danger. I was a former Wonderboard. One of the best in the wings, in fact. She will question it soon. You were a Wonderboard? You asked in an admiring tone. Hey, good for you! You must have been pretty impressive. Of course I'm impressive. That's what I do for a living. Sanguine bragged. That's what I did for a living. Then she noticed something. Hey! Is that pretty flying or mechanical wings? She looked at Featherwind. I assume this is your doing since you can control the winds. Confirmed. Featherwind called back with a polite tone. That's impressive. You can even send Earth points to the sky. Who would have even tank it? Tank? Is that how you even say it? It's toad. That's not a... slang way of saying thing. Because everywhere it just says it's an abrupt muffled sound. It's a tank. That's a tank. Obviously I would never know that, but I know what you wanted to say. It was just strange. Simon was sad in an impressed tone, then took another bite of a green apple. Yeah, imagine that. Stunning sad with a sarcastic roll of her eyes. And also, she's not quite right on that thing. Because Halloween cannot just send Earth ponies to the sky. They have to practice flying with those mechanical wings. Unless they want them to just to fly in the air and not be able to control anything. And just flop down. It's like you try to sail with a sailing boat. You can try. But without knowing how to catch the wind with those wings, even if you have the best winds, you will not go anywhere. Anyway, in regards to the offer, thanks but no thanks. I know it does not seem like it, but we have been through a lot together by now, and we can hoofle ourselves. It would only slow us down. Slow you down? Hey! Sam wind cried in offense and suddenly zipped ahead of them, spun about, and flew backwards in order to face them. I was a wonderbot, one of the best. I can fly so fast I can create fire through sheer friction in the air. You want to see? No thank you. Starwings waved her off. I've seen your tricks before. Honestly, it was impressive when I was a foal, but I've seen many more impressive things since then. And you were a wonderbot. You are not anymore. Yeah, probably do some practice. She's blind though. She can only see so far. She doesn't need to actually see. She needs to see just to see. Just to not plop to a wall. But she mostly has to feel the wind, right? Because it's not just wings. You kinda can move them around, I imagine. It's like a wing of a plane. Like your friend in the disappearing blue box? Simon inquired. To name one example, Simon returned. Heather guides her. That's true. I can hoofle myself too, Simon insisted, as she gestured to herself with both hooves, one of which she had what was left of a green apple. I've been there a lot of times. And not just an aerial acrobatic performer, I've saved lives too, even your boyfriend for crying out loud. She gestured to him. That's true, Featherwind agreed. And I really want to make things right with you guys. Featherwind begged. I've told you a lot about what you said to me on the last few days when I was still in the balls, and you were right. I was way out of the line. I was being far too racist, and I didn't see that your boyfriend here does have a remarkable talent. After I quit the academy, I felt it was my fault. She read it for the wind in concern. Was it? Yes, kinda. You are part of the reason. No? Featherwind shook his head. I quit the academy of my own reasons. There were lots of them, and all piled up. One of them was you. You were a small contributing factor, but the truth is, I left because I wanted to. I left because I realized that wasn't my destiny. At the time, I was still searching to find myself. I made a lot of progress in that regard since then. Well, that's great. Featherwind cheered. But it kind of sucks as well. I mean, you actually did have a lot of talent. I might have even felt a little jealous and threatened by you. I mean, you're a flying unicorn and a really good one at that. You're flying right now, even as we speak. The sky is your home too. And I should have been a big enough pony to admit that. I mean, there's plenty of room for us to both up there. Well, didn't she change a little bit? She has grown. You can fly, but also cast magic spells or whatever else is that you do. I can't do that. Yes, you can if you try hard enough. It started to make me feel obsolete, and I'm sorry I took it out on you. It wasn't your fault for just following your passion. I grew up with a family that's always supported me and my beliefs. That's probably why I grew up so confident, and later became a wonderpod. And a really good one at that. And yet I stormed all over your feelings for following the same dreams that I had. And that was wrong of me. I have to make it up to you. Please, let me join you all. Featherwind begged. Look, if it helps, I will say this to you. I accept your apology. Now leave. Featherwind expressed honestly. It's really nice to hear that you have learned a lesson, and I'm touched that you are willing to help us to make up for it, but this issue is a matter of life and death. Buckmaster is one of the most dangerous villains out there. I've seen him slaughter an entire group of fire-trained ponies in seconds. He has magic that can animate anything to do his bidding, even corpses. He draws upon powers so dark it can drive others insane just to be near him. We have had practice dealing with his kind at this point. You haven't. We are rejecting you for your own sake. Let us finish our business, then you can make it up to us in some other way. Buy us hay burger or something. Speaking for myself, I really like those. And I haven't had the chance to eat those because there were no hay burgers in another time period where we were. Why are you talking down to me like I'm some kind of rookie? Because you are. Featherwind complained. I'm one of the few ponies in the world that has been in actual danger multiple times. I fly towards danger while every other pony is galloping away from it. And I do it to save lives. I did it before and I can do it again. What makes you so different from me now? The equipment, for one thing. Featherwind pointed out. You see this flashing armor I'm wearing? Yeah, so? By the way, I still think it looks really awesome. I want it. Well, this armor is magical. Featherwind informed. Psst, yeah, you think? Featherwind asked, a bit sarcastically. Well, of course it's magical. That's pretty obvious. If you think I'm that much of a rookie for not noticing, then you have seriously underestimated me. Obviously. Who would think that a crystal armor that's flashing in different colors of the rainbow is not magical? I mean, seriously. It does more than just flash particles. Starving further not informed. That really is just a side effect of its main magical function and base material it's made from. This armor is enchanted with holy magic, and it just happens to be the exact type. We need to defeat the Puppet Master once and for all. He's immune to normal weapons because his body is an actually animated corpse. His real essence lies in the dark gem somewhere inside his body. Whoa, that's impressive, Sam Wynn said in an impressed tone. Okay, I have to admit that is cool, but it still doesn't mean I'm useless. I may not be armed with nifty magical items like that, but I'm really fast when it comes to the sky, and I can conjure fire. Is he immune to that too? I don't think so. I doubt it. Further admitted. At least, it hasn't been tested yet. It's a dead body. He shouldn't be... Actually, fire is the best when it comes to zombies. At the very least, I can serve as distraction. Simon reasoned. So, come on, just let me in on the group. If you join us, you will be very likely to die, Vision warned. And if I stay here, I may live in body, but I will die in spirit, Simon said suddenly. My mistakes have been tearing me up inside, and I want a chance to make it up for it, once and for all. I think you met plenty of police by now who made mistakes and never felt sorry for them, but I do because I'm not a bad pony. If you reject me now, then you are condemning me to wallow in miserable fate. There are worse things than death, you know. If I'm meant to die, then I want my death, to serve some noble ends. But must I have been tearing other ponies apart? Sometimes literally. I need to stop this. I am a hero, damn it! Simon broke into tears a bit. Featherwind, you know what it's like to yearn to prove something to the world and to yourself? Well, here I am. I'm in the same boat here. I know I'm meant to do this. I can feel it. If you ignore me now, then I might never get my redemption. And I'm at risk of lashing out at others. If you abandon me, I will never forgive you. Sounds like she is trying to... wait, he? Wasn't it... Maybe she's under the control of Puppet Master. Wasn't Sam being the female? It's she. Okay. I was like, yeah, wasn't it a she? Did I remember wrong? There's also too similar name to Starving. But I don't think she is being controlled. I don't think she is being controlled. Because, wait, couldn't Vision tell if she was being controlled? She would be able to tell, because she's an empath. Also, Starving had the plot armor. She would probably feel if she was being controlled by darkness. To tell you the truth, I mixed up those names before too. Sometimes I had the wrong spelling for starving and searing wind, and then fixed it later a bit. So again, I don't think she is being controlled. Firewind and Starving glanced at each other. Then Vision, who hadn't the ability to glance back. You will die, Vision assured more firmly. So this is the future that she saw. That means she knows that she's gonna join. And she is not saying that yes, you are being controlled. If she was being controlled, then she wouldn't die. It's not like any of us here are immortal anyway. This is the fate of all of us eventually. What matters more is how we choose to live during our lives. Whether to die a hero and in pursuit of noble cause, and live as a villain, wallowing in misery and lashing out at everybody. Saying Wind assured, I want to do this. I am even willing to give my life to this cause. Let's just make sure we also take that person down with us. Are you with me? More importantly, am I with you? Wind and Starving glanced at each other one final time, then they both sighed simultaneously. Alright, Starving Wind, you can come if you really want to go this badly. Starving grunted. I just hope you don't have a victory over your corpse. Letting others is a big deal to me, and I don't like it when others make that job harder. For the last time, I'm not some rookie. I can take care of myself and I can even take care of you. Wind assured. I am Wind. I was born to fly and I was born to fight. Welcome aboard then. Wind accepted with a little bit of lingering worry. Still flying backwards in order to face them. Wind asked, so, how are we supposed to find the villain anyway? Princess Celeste tried to have us strike him down for years, but to no avail. He seems to strike out as random targets. There is no way to predict where he will strike next. Wait, isn't he still trying to find a pony with random cutie mark, random colors in the desert? But there is one place he keeps going to that isn't so random. Vision brought it up. His lair. He's got a lair? Seriously? Wind questioned, then rolled her eyes. How cliché is that? This will be just like we fought the plague back in his own lair. Starving said to her husband with a grin. Good old times. Huh? Wind looked confused. Sang is talking about what she knows about Professor over the years. Well, also they don't know that they have sent him to find the relative to the Dark King in the desert. She doesn't know about that. And we don't know how much time has passed since they left. Because it's time magic. It's time and dimension jumping. It could have been 2 seconds since they left. Who knows? Long story. Starving told Wind. Then looked at Vision. I assume you saw his lair in a vision, right? Where it is? It is in Mania. Vision reported. His lair is in the abandoned town of Mania. More specifically, an abandoned Falls Hospital. Oh god. I see where this is going. A crazy maniacal puppet master in a Falls Hospital with most likely Falls corpses lying around. Shouldn't they be asking why they're both 10 years older? I don't know, after they reach a certain height and certain body build, they don't really change that much in 10 years, unless they get really old. Do they? She might have not noticed that. I mean, she can't even see too much of Starving because she's in a plot armor. Send remarks on that briefly later. Okay. Venia? Simon looked thoughtful. Actually, I know where that is. It's an abandoned mining town. I think the mine is dried up, but that's not the real reason it's abandoned. I heard a plague swept through that area. This was quarantined a long time ago. Have to be about 90 years ago. Did any of the residents make it out? Starving asked hopefully. Only a few of them, for what I've heard. Oh, it's Featherwind. Only a few of them, of what I've heard. Featherwind reported. Most of the residents actually died in that town due to their sickness. I bet you only think a place like that would have a lot of lingering negative energy. Vision brought it up. And I bet you the Dark King, or possibly yet another minion, was responsible for that plague. Starving guessed grimly. Was Starbucks one of the few ponies who survived the disaster? No, he died. Featherwind death, Vision. Who is Starbucks? Who is Starbucks? Simon death. Starbucks was the puppet master's original name. Vision informed. And yes, he did survive, but he wished he hadn't. Yes, his grief drove him insane after the plague swept through. He lost some pony very precious to him in an attack. I bet you anything it was his fault. Starving guessed suddenly. The grief over a loss like that might destroy the mind of any father. Featherwind agreed. In that case, the Dark King waited on that to capitalize on that advantage. Hold on a second, let me ask you all something first. Simon brushed and gestured to Vision. Why are we listening to her, and why are we inviting a young foreign to a serious battle? It doesn't even look like she can see at all. She can see in ways you can only imagine. Starving assured. And besides, she is an oracle. Featherwind added. Sanguine, meet the real Vision. She was the one who came up with the prophetic dreams, which she told her mother about, who in turn was Celestia. No fooling? Sanguine shouted. Indeed, no fooling. Featherwind confirmed. What's more, Vision is deadly when it comes to martial arts, and she also has expert medical knowledge, magic potions, and as for eye implants, that one might take a while to explain, but suffice to say, it is very useful. Shouldn't you head to Celestia first and give her the book before going out to your most likely demise? Unless you know that, oh no, in later time I will have a daughter who I will tell the story. Unless I change the past. Which I can. Right? Wow, call me impressed. Simon exclaimed to the group and focused her expression at Vision directly. You're pretty tough for a little squirt, ain't ya? Call me a squirt one more time and see what happens. Vision menaced with an eerie calm voice. Hey, I was just fooling around, no hard feelings. Simon quickly apologized. So, you know where Mania is? Featherwind asked, saying wind. I heard about the history of the town, but I don't know where it's located geographically. I get the feeling that is on purpose. Oh yeah, that place is totally haunted and lots of ponies fear the plague might still exist in there. Yeah, it actually exists. Sang with informed. I thought that such a plague could linger after 90 years of abandonment by anything living there. But if it did, I'm sure I can cleanse it. Vision assured. As for the haunting, we can take care of that too as soon as we cleanse one of the darkest sources of energy in the area and finally send out the innocent souls in the area to the proper rest. Well, if you are ready to do this, then follow me. Sam been invited. Then finally spun about to fly forward, and it's a much faster rate. Father been kicked up the winds for him and his friends to keep up with her. Mr. Quick his band and prepares to do some re-edits to the story. Yep. Okay, there is a stopping point here, so I'm not gonna stop. Don't worry, I'm just gonna make a mug of coffee, if that's okay with you. So we will have a brief stopping point right here, like a 5-minute stop. It depends on how long it takes to make the coffee. Because I have not prepared. I woke up way too late. It shouldn't take that long. I'm waiting for it to brew. Yes, Mr. Bond. Yep, the dog wanted to get up to me and wanted something. Because I went outside. He actually told that we are going to go for a walk, but not yet. After I finish this story, we will. If there is... Actually, it's ice outside this time. There is no chance for storm. At least I hope. But let's continue, shall we? Hold on, I figured something out. Strawberries realized that the member of the trio, it's Vision. He thought earlier there would be somebody like her. Here you are, a unicorn that acts like a Pegasus, and Mother is a Pegasus that acts like a nurse pony. The final corner of this triangle of Vision, the nurse pony that acts like a unicorn, with all her magical potions and psychic visions. Sonic eyes and dimensional saddle packs, and eventually teleporting through time and space at will. That is one heavily magical ass pony. Bingo. Now you get a gold star. Then complimented his daughter, which caused her to giggle. But something gets stuck on him as well from the doctor. Anyway, back to the story. I have to warn you, this next part is pretty spooky. But we have everything well in hoof, after everything we have been through. Spooky, spooky? Let me see if there's any other stopping point here. It doesn't seem like it. Let's put a bookmark here. Let's go for spooky. This is awesome! Oh, this is awesome! Saying Vin said in an impressed tone, as she looked at her crystal coat and mane. How did you manage to learn a spell like this? A good friend of mine taught me this. Oh! He did a crystalling on her. Vin said softly in a fond voice, and resumed in a more serious tone. The crystal armor spell will not just help you guard against the physical attacks, but also the corruption of the dark energy. Based on what I can tell from the looks of those clouds, I would say the area will be land. And this is a thick with dark energy, so you need that protection to keep your mind as well as body safe. Oh, totally! Seeing agreed. This place has always given me the chills every time I flew by it. Uh-oh. Dice might be right that she has been a little bit corrupted, but not fully. But not controlled. Actually. There's definitely a lot of negative energy before. I can feel it already. Which I reported. But still, she would feel it in her as well, if she was corrupted by it. Yeah, me too. I can sense it with the red crystal. Felen reported back. What about Starwing? Aren't you going to enchant her too? Simon asked her back in concern, since she was the only one with a glossy crystal cloth. Not necessary, since I'm wearing this armor. Oh, not necessary, since I'm wearing this armor. Starwing informed, it is holy armor, so its weapons injure evil, the greater effect, and the armor also guards me from wicked spells. It also gives me lots of energy. With this armor on, I always have infinite endurance. Sweet! Sang with a sudden amazement. Where did you find that puppy? We didn't. I made it. But I'm in thought Sam wind, then shocked. I thought we were lucky to stumble upon the base material it is made from. You did? Sam wind double checked in astonishment. I made this cloak as well, and you know about that. Sam pointed it out. And it is a sweet cloak too. Don't get me wrong. I love the fact it keeps spraying over mist like that, but that armor is a whole different level. I mean, look at it. It looks amazing. Horn on the head, plated armor wings, blood mace like hooves, and enchantments. I had no idea you were such a skilled enchanter. You really are talented, Matterwind. Thanks. Matterwind looked at his wife lovingly. I made it with love, literally. I bet you did. Sam agreed, not realizing how literal Matterwind intended the statement to be. Anyway, we are here. Sam dove down, and the others followed suit. The four of them landed together in an empty village that was covered in perpetual shadow. The clouds above left, for they were drawn to the negative energy of this place. The depressive atmosphere clung to the air as well, as a airy sense of loneliness and misery. Various objects were scattered about the place, abandoned where they stood for almost a century. A lot of scattered objects and buildings were decayed and rusted. That was an eerie, oppressive silence that was occasionally broken by the sound of whistling wind, the sound of a wooden door banging open and shut, and ghostly foes laughing madly. There were also other scary sounds like a mother's wail in misery, like crying over the corpse of a dead foal. Wow! Scary much? Sanguine asked a little nervously as she glanced around. Which way is to the first hospital? But I mean asked Sanguine seriously. Sanguine shouted as she said, Don't look at me, I never actually landed in space before. Once I just sailed above the clouds, flew around it entirely because this place has obviously given me the creeps. Looking at it closer, not helping, but don't worry. I'm not going to abandon you. I get your flank. Simon assured confidently with a firm salute from her right wing to her forehead that yanked forward. This way, Vision said, her face aimed in a certain direction. Legendary magic is especially thick in this direction. Actually, yeah, come to think of it, I can sense it too. Father reported. Let's take care of this. Right. Staving agreed firmly. You ponies have come a long way, haven't you? Simon asked as she followed them. Could it be a trick of light, but you even look physically older? Yeah, it's a trick of light, don't worry about it. They made their way to a large rectangular building that had most of its windows shuttered. They passed a few rusted wheelchairs and decayed gurneys along the way into the building. Once they reached the entrance, only one of the doors clung to it, and just barely at that, it hung in its bottom hinge, which it tilted inwardly at a sharp angle, looking like it was about ready to fall along with its sister door. Inside the building, it smelled very dusty, and yet the floor was relatively clean, except for some spattered papers, gaze, and what looked like very old bloodstains painted on the walls and floor. The moment they entered the hospital, the air felt even more oppressive in a terrifying way. If it weren't for their magical protections, it might have felt unbearable. Which way now? Stabbing asked firmly, as she searched around cautiously. Somewhere below us, I think? Vision said it with uncertainty. So, if so, we will have to find our way to it. Oh my god, it's an abandoned hospital, and not only an abandoned hospital, but you have to go underground. Any more cliches? Why do evil beings love to go underground? or high up in the air. They never on the first floor. They either go to the highest point of something or the lowest point of something. I guess they just go to the maximum limit. And also, I mean, they have starving, right? They could just pass through the ground easily. With a strength enhanced by the plot armor. Then let's go searching. Featherwind resolved as he ignited his horn with red and silver light. And it's not like the puppet master doesn't know already that they are here. He probably knows. He looked back and forth between two hallways, ignoring the front desk for that moment. Eventually he chose the right direction and said, "This way, follow me. Everybody, stay close to me and the light." Actually, not searching the front desk is actually a bad idea, because most likely in a hospital, if it's a multiple layered hospital, there is a map at the front desk to check where are the fire exits, where are the stairways, where is everything. Not checking that is a bad idea. "I don't need the light," Vision said calmly as she moved to follow. "Remember, I'm blind." "Yeah, I've been meaning to ask you about that," Sammy mentioned. "You are blind, right? I don't mean to sound insensitive about it, but in this case it's kind of a big deal right now. Somehow you seem to be turning out rather confidently, like your own pace. How did you know where you are going?" Reminds me of the chapter Play from Fallout of Acacia? Oh, I don't know if it's that. FOE! Project Horizons, where the heroes enter a decayed hospital filled with murder robots that laugh like children. Turns out robots were controlled by terminally ill children that have been trapped in suspended animation for 200 years. Oof. Yep. And we will definitely meet childrens who are robots, murder robots, because they are puppets. We will definitely meet those. It's a full hospital, after all. Yes, for Acacia. Okay. How is it you know where you are going? So for the bright ideas that I need horribly. I don't know the characters in Fallout Acacia. I have never read that yet. You're making me easy to follow you. Vision teased. At first, that assured me. Trust me, I have my ways. She really does. I haven't affirmed seriously. However, her perception is limited only to a certain distance, usually about 400 feet. Beyond that, she is totally blind, but within its zone, she can see ways you can't imagine. For instance, I can see the breadcrumbs in your main. Vision informed. I can see your stomach as it's churning. You had oats for breakfast. Okay. Stop. You're excited to creep me out. Sam complained nervously. Even more than being in a forced hospital with psychopathic dark magic user who animates objects and corpses in order to convert them into puppets? Storming checks with Silent Wind. That's pretty creepy too, but what is the fact that I'm not galloping away? Silent Wind pointed out. I can hope for that stuff because it's part of the enemy's territory. When I feel something is external from my inner circle, I feel I can face it head on. When my allies point out creepy stuff about themselves, however, it makes me feel like I have to guard my flank from you ponies, and I don't want to feel that way right now. I need to keep a cool and professional level head while we are in the middle of danger in order for me to do my best work. Well, she really is being very brave under these circumstances, Starving complimented to her companions. Shh! I hear some... Vision said as she stopped. I hear something coming. So do I. Featherwind agreed. It's coming from up ahead. Our pony, guard yourselves. They waited for a while, during which time they heard a squeaking noise, repeat over and over again. As they were suddenly closer, it sounded like rusty metal in motion. Featherwind beamed his sword even brighter in forward direction. Becoming more like a flight. Eventually they caught the sight of an empty wheelchair, pushing itself. After it rounded a corner, it paused for a moment, then slowly turned to face them. It paused again for a few seconds, before suddenly rushing toward them. The wheelchair picked up more and more speed, and it raised itself down the mostly empty hallways of the hospital. I thought that some pony would with a mask would be in the wheelchair, and it would be like, "Do you wanna play a game?" Don't forget that we are against the puppet master, who can animate inanimate objects, even dead bodies. So moving a wheelchair is not that hard for him. Let's play. Sabby shouted. I just got those chairs. Featherwind focused his magic. The empty wheelchair got caught in a silvery magic aura. It was sorted, then lifted off the ground, then crashed into one side of its original size, then shot the window to his left. Featherwind whipped his head to the left in order to guide the spell with his horn. A nice one. Featherwind complimented. Give me some hoof on that one. She lifted the hoof diagonally up. Featherwind chose not to leave her hanging on that one. He took a step back and gave her a high hoof bump. I mean, that's a waste of magic. I have to say, this is a waste of magic. I feel like. There's a magic ton of files across the series. No, okay. It might be boring if you let you hoof for all the problems with your magic. Vision slightly complained. I propose how we take turns dealing with each problem as it comes along. Sounds dangerous. Starving said in disapproval. It seems unwise to deal with hostile situations like this, not taking it seriously. Well, we are taking it seriously. We are playing a serious game. We are playing a serious game. We didn't propose. We are all still here. If any of us get into too much trouble, then others can jump in at any time. But the pony facing that problem doesn't gain a point. Featherwind who for the problem is his own, so he scored a point. Is there a pony here that I meant to let him keep his lead? I see what Vision is proposing, but this is the first thing that they learned. This is why Starving was actually injured. Because, oh yeah, I will let you handle this one, I will not jump in, you can get the point. And she almost died. Remember that? Why you actually needed to make the crystal armor, and how you have to repair her whole spine. But the reason Vision is proposing this is to conserve magic, which I said if they let everything up to Featherwind, he will basically run dry with magic. when they are about to face the final boss. Are you challenging me? Sam with asked. Yes, I am most definitely challenging you, all of you, Visual confirmed in a dying tone. Jeez, they used to be so innocent. Stabbing a god? Is that a no? Stabbing checked. Featherwind looked at Stabbing and shouted. If anything, it might lighten attention a little. I would suggest we all remain prepared to act, but perhaps we can score some points while we are at it. Stabbing sighed and shouted. Fine. Are you being serious right now? Strawberry asked suspiciously. Featherwind chuckled a little bit, then told his daughter, Your mother, Vision and I have faced far worse on a daily and nightly basis as we marched up to the Dark Star. This was really nothing more than the same thing, except we haven't had crystal barrier in the way to get us that time. We were no more than a little capable of fulfilling a little bit of danger, so we saw no harm in a little bit of fun, as long as we remained prepared to act at a moment's notice. By making light of a dangerous situation, we also proved to it that we hadn't failed it. We had only taken it seriously as we needed to. Wow! I doubt I could have been a nonchalant in a spooky situation like that, Stabis commented. But then again, I haven't gone through what you did, at least not yet, so continue. Alright then, as I've been said in the past. Game on! Remember, I scored a point. Who's next? Maybe we should see what we are facing next before we decide. Stabbing advice cautiously. You can't even take an extra turn. You can even take an extra turn if you all deem it necessary. I agree. I guess I agree. Vision said with a small sigh. But if we let him do that and he beats it, then he leads over us by 2 points. So, this is a challenge. Sam would realize. Alright then, my kind of territory. Lead on, my friends. I can't wait for it to be my turn. They ventured down the hallway. On the very next turn they meet, they already met another hostile encounter. This time it looked like a giant intestines hanging off the walls and spilling onto the floor. As they watched, it wiggled and moved like a slug, then broke apart into tiny pieces. Those pieces picked themselves off the floor and stood upright. They really took the shape of a bipedal little infants, and they definitely sounded like them. They made little squeal of laughter that infants do when they are happy. Each piece feathered and trudged its way towards the party, very awkwardly, but there were hundreds of tiny pieces of baby intestines making their way towards them. Okay, whose turn is it? Stand back, every pony, I got this! Steinwin said it confidently. You sure? Steinwin checked. Yep, no problem. If I get any unexpected problems, then any of you ponies can leap in and happy. Get cracking then, Vision commanded. If you don't want any of the icky fears touching my coat, I don't want them. I suspect clean water is not much accessible here. I could probably conjure a rain cloud for you. But I'm in the fall. Maybe later. Vision sat back to Featherwind. Wind took the lead, then spread her stance wide. She cockled her neck, left, then right, while she kept a narrow glare and a cocky smile on her lip. Towards the small approaching swarm, she also cocked her knees a bit, as she bent them one by one. She was finally ready to attack. She flapped her wings forward, but not simultaneously. First she flapped one wing, and then the other, then repeated the pattern faster and faster. Suddenly, she conjured a tiny tornado directly in front of her, but as it spun faster, it started to catch fire. As the tornado spun faster and faster, it also got hotter and hotter. Eventually satisfied, and the threat was drawing too close besides, she flapped both wings forward and launched her creation down the hallway. not only did it sweep up the tiny minions, but also incinerated them in a tiny flaming tornado. The flaming tornado continued about halfway down the hallway. By then, it more than doubly burst the threat and burned them all up. It also left a scorched streak on the floor. And that, Wind saluted in the direction of the incinerated threats with a wing, is how it's done. Nice! Starwing cheered. Give me something. Also, that only counts as 1 point. Most men raised their wings and gave a high slap twice. Then Featherwind approached and slapped her other wing with his own hoof twice. Vision followed suit. Okay then. Featherwind and Sandwind had each have a point. Vision announced. We need to turn next, Starwing, or we will fall behind. Right after that, Vision said that something crashed to the wall of the right side, facing the direction they were traveling towards. The robot had a rotting head of a stallion attached to his own moving spinal cord, except it was energy long. The spinal cord moved like a centipede. The head of the rotting stallion created a crowd of tiny, dirty medical idiots at the group, but Starwing blocked it with the crystal side of her right wing, without even looking at it. When the attack of the creature was complete, Starwing grabbed the puppet's head and forced it down to the ground, using the same wing she originally defended her friends with. From there, she stomped her right hoof that wore her enchanted prismatic armor. The skull shattered in one attack. Starwing even cracked the floor a bit. You were saying? Starwing asked Vision smugly. Never mind, point to you. Now I am the only one left that needs it, Vision calmly observed. You couldn't see it beyond that wall? Featherwind asked Vision doubtfully. I did, Vision reported, but it never moved until now. I couldn't distinguish it as a threat until it moved, and by then, it did so fast. It did it so fast that I had no time to warn you all. In that case, I think I'm coming upon us at any moment. Sandwind realized. Oh joy! They just realizing that the Puppet Master can animate anything. Seriously? Puppet Master can potentially animate anything against us, except maybe truly living matter like us. I wouldn't put that aside, because he might be able to control living things as well. We don't know. Featherwind reminded his friends. Until we take him out, we have to remain prepared to defend ourselves for anything. What could game leave lacks risk? Vision asked. Points taken, Sandwind agreed. Oh wow. Oh, we are in the future. Starbreeze exclaimed in the future. I take back everything I said about her. This pony sounds awesome. Yeah, she was pretty awesome, her father agreed. Was? Starbreeze checked in concern. Well, we warned her many times that she will die if she joins. It's not gonna be a surprise when she does. Moving on, Featherwind said, deliberately ignoring her question. That! We just stopped and pointed at a painting of a mare on the wall, who was wearing a white fitting dress and had a veil over her face. The painting was a little ahead of them. That face mine, Vision declared and really pointed at Starwing. And if I'm sure, I wouldn't have said if I wasn't. Ah, okay then. Featherwind agreed. Starwing. There's so many Featherwind, Starwing, Sandwing, Vision Bean. Starwing agreed. She's all yours. Thank you. Vision trotted over the painting. Now then, show me what you got. At first, nothing happened. But then the eyes of the man behind the painting suddenly looked down at the little figure in front of it. After that image turned monstrous and seemed to stretch itself out of the painting. During that time, it made a monstrous roar. Vision's limbs were sized by the several oily tentacles, which were made of warped and stretched out image the painting had before it moved. The fangs of the monster drew closer, very slowly, intending to terrorize its victim before biting her head off. But Vision calmly said, "Interesting." I should say, "Interesting." They emitted a high-pitched noise, projected from her eyes. The creature immediately breathed in pain. As soon as it did, Vision took a step back and yanked the painting off the wall. It slammed into the other side of the hallway. Vision kept whipping it back and forth to keep it off balance. Meanwhile, her sonic eyes continued to vibrate the creature, which was building up pressure, which eventually resulted in its explosion. What just happened? Simon asked in confusion. Featherwind? Vision commented as she moved to join her friends, while wiping off bits of the oily painting from her side. Only after, however, she finished her sentence. Operator for a raincoat. I will accept one when this adventure is done. Okay. Seeing that this magic is really close to being dead. There we go. Okay then. Simon remarked. Oh, it's Simon. Okay then. Wow. That was a voice crack right there. Simon remarked when they beheld their newest threat. We got a swarm of baby heads on a splendid little spider-like legs rushing towards us. What's our play here? How about all of us smash them this time? William proposed. Try to keep track of how many we smash. Whoever smashes the most gets 3 points. Whoever smashes the second gets 2. Then 1, then 0. Oh, and she turned her head toward Featherwind. No magic. Oh, come on! Featherwind complained. That's racist! No, that's fair. William countered. If we let you use your magic, you could just group up the whole bunch and crush them all against each other. If the rest of us a chance, why don't you? Tell you what though, if any of us gets injured later on, you get a point for each pony that you heal with your magic, but only after the battle is done, deal? Again, I see what she is doing. She is reserving Featherwind's magic. Featherwind sighed. Fine. But you know I'm going to get the least points in the smash up. At least I'm the least athletic amongst you all, not to mention my small stature. And you applied for the Wonder Boots. Psst! Sammy rolled her eyes, then competitively regarded Sammy, whom she thought was her greatest rival of this bunch. You wanted to smash up the tiny little baby things? Starbase rolled her eyes and shook her head slightly as she said, "That sentence would sound so bad out of context." It is. Starving stretched her wings and legs in the past, then said, "You know it." It's so strange that we are jumping back and forth all the time. There are way too many characters who sound the same. We have Starbreeze, Stormwing, Searing, Featherwind. Okay then, we all charge them. When I say go, Simon announced. On your marks, get, set, go. The group charged ahead. to the swarm of the baby heads or spiny legs and proceeded to smash them in any way they could, usually by hoof. The swarm was little more dangerous than the group anticipated. I have to ask. Wait, we have to ask. You said baby heads. Does that mean human baby heads? You didn't say four heads or filly heads. You said baby heads. I need clarification. Every single one of those madly laughing and giggling baby heads shout out of the single this is neither from their mouths. Wow, they love their neithers. Well, likely not baby human heads. Boys can be babies too. Yeah, but they call them foals and fillies. Well, that's true. They call them babies. Some point. Sammy blocked most of the attacks aimed at her. Vision dodged or reflected the attacks, and Sammy got hit by a bunch of them, but she's wised up after that attack and started blowing a bunch of the baby heads using her wings. Oh no, Sammy got stabbed by some needles. That's not good. They are definitely attacking with needles for some reason. There is something in the needle. As for Vanderwind, he paused his charge when he saw the baby heads do that. The others were in the lead, and he figured he would learn from them before engaging himself. What he saw made him realize it was unwise to engage these creatures himself, and besides he felt pretty certain he would lose the smash-up anyway, so he thought to fight this round of the game by raising a force field around himself. That's cheating. Baby? Princess Kid and Shiny Young Armor are having a baby? You're right. This is why Princess Twilight said that. Because she already went to the human world by that point. Remember that. That's why she was like, wait, they are having a baby? Not a filly? Not a... Now it makes much more sense. I'm just kidding, by the way. Now that would be something seriously problematic if they had a baby. Actually, Pink Pie said about quote when she actually read the note sent to Miss Cake. Then, if it's from Pinkie Pie, it makes even more sense. Because there is no first wall for Pinkie Pie. Ah, cheater! Vision called out to Featherwind without looking back at him, and while she skillfully maneuvered around the baby heads and proceeded to smash them with blowing hooves, raining destruction from the swarm. Doesn't matter, I forfeit this match. Besides, I didn't use my magic to attack them, I only used it to defend myself. Featherwind called out. At this point, my best hope is to heal all the rest of you later, so go to town and smash as many of you want. I just clean up the damage later. Ah, come on! Really? Stavin complained that she too swept off a bunch of them, of their feet, with powerful strokes of her wings. So great was the gust of wind, that it had smashed some of the baby heads, when they collided with either the wall or each other. You don't know what you're missing? Yes, I do. I'm looking at it right now. Featherwind said as he sat down and calmly watched some of the creepy baby heads started to crawl all over his tiny force field. Besides, it seems pretty clear to me who is going to win this match. Yeah, you know, now when you see this one. When you see one. Featherwind bragged as her wing gust smashed the entire groups of baby heads against the wall. She did this to the left direction, then right, then left again, then both directions with both wings. Careful, they can also dangle on the web from the ceiling. Featherwind calmly observed as he looked up. Those things just keep coming, Starming noted as she kept on smashing. Vision, do you see the end to them, right? Don't worry, they are limited. Vision assured as she continued to tear through them rapidly. I wish I had a cup of tea, Featherwind said wistfully. Ask and you shall receive. Vision said, then quickly tossed what looked like a coconut at Featherwind from one of her saddlebags. He caught it delicately, then pulled it through his force field. Looking at it, he realized he could unscrew it. He proceeded to do so while keeping it level, and discovered the coconut had half full of liquid. It's cold, Vision reported. I do have things that could heat it up, but for now... Oh, it's Vision. It's cold, Vision reported. I do have things that could heat it up, but for now, just use your magic. Nah, it's fine. Featherwind sipped it, then his eyes lit with delight. Wow, excellent tea. What kind is it? Ginger tea with mint extract, Vision reported as she kept going in an constant blow of motion. We get a problem, or at least I do, Featherwind said, a bit winded. I just got a track of how many I smashed. How will we tally the victor later on? Featherwind, have you been keeping track? Starming glanced back at her husband. Not really. No, not that specifically. Featherwind said honestly, then took another cold sip of his tea. I suppose we do have a problem then, Starming agreed. I lost track of my skills as well. We should have anticipated this problem, Simon said in a little annoyance. I'm in pain. Ow! Son of biscuit! These things sting! How many times did you get stung? Featherwind asked as she kept on smashing. I don't know, but I don't feel so well. I have heard that somewhere before, and I haven't seen the last Avengers movie or the second one. I only seen the first one. I know the meme though. Okay, that's enough done. Oh, okay, that's enough done. Featherwind, clean the rest. Vision ordered. Yes, ma'am. Featherwind ignited his horn and did exactly what Vision feared he might do. He tightly grabbed the entire remaining bunch and smashed them against each other, then dropped them on the ground and smashed up winning twitching ball. Vision approached Sang Min and touched her a few places, while her eyes made high-pitched noise. What is this awful sound? Sang Min asked with a confused wince. I know it's coming from you. It's an implant on my eyes. It's a device that has all kinds of useful features that is sonic based. It's gotta go fast, Vision reported. Now hold still. I want you to take a deep breath. In and out. In and out. Breathe. Sam did so. Vision asked over her shoulders. Stamming, how are you holding up? I'm good. Stamming answered. I got stung a few times, but I'm having no apparent effect on me yet. I think it's the sound protecting me from the worst of the effects. Vision picked up one of the many needles off the floor and aimed a sonic beam squarely at it, then said, These things are diseased. Obviously, duh! Who would have thought though that a medical needle would not be diseased in a hospital which is abandoned? I mean, seriously. Ew! Starming said with a wince of disgust. Featherwind, can you clean this up for us? Sure thing! Featherwind lifted up a needle he could find and chucked it into one of the adjacent rooms. The plague. No, I think it's not the plague, it's just normal disease. Stabbing high the fortitude of saving throw. Yeah, we know that the crystal armor is not just defending her from the outside, but it also communicates to the crystal spine that she has, which is basically communicating with her entire system and blood flow, so she can just cleanse the disease up because it's a plot armor. But everybody else, every pony else is seriously defenseless against these stupid needles. And this is why in hospitals the needles are one-time use. Even if it's not diseased. After you use it, you throw it away and never see it again. And these are probably all used medical needles. Father Wind defended himself with a force shield. Yeah, that's true. And he did the right thing. Okay, I think I got just a thing. Vision pulled out a Quaker tonic from one of her saddlebags and offered it to Sam in with a hoof. Here, drink this. It should clean up the disease and restore your strength. Vision's hand was then directed the Star Wing's general direction and tossed her the tonic, which Star Wing caught with her left wing and looked at it. Here, you think that too? As a medical professional, I don't want to take any chances when it comes to disease. Drink half of the bottle and I will wrap up the rest. Thank you. Simon swept at the tonic with a swipe of wing. She was about to chuck it down while she was still holding it near the tip of her right wing, but paused that motion when something occurred to her. Then she looked back at her friend and asked with a grin. Wait a second? Does that mean that Vision gets a point for carrying me? Yup. Just think the tonic, Doctor's orders. Vision commanded as her head was directed back in Sigbin's direction. I suppose that would be only fair. Starving agreed. Personally, I am fine. Even they managed to scratch me, I would only regenerate for a minute. Just drink the half of the tonic anyway, Vision insisted. Don't worry, I was going to. And I not want to let disease become a serious security issue. Stabbing a shot as she pulled out the cork with her teeth, spit it out, then proceeded to drink some of the tonic. Oh, and why is that? Sam asked curiously after she drank the tonic. How about you healing, I mean? It's complicated. Starving said dismissively after she drank half of the tonic. They gave the bottle back to Vision. I'll probably finish the tonic off. So, who won? Do you think? As Sing meant to the whole group. I think you did, but you got stung too many times for it to so many times for it, so -1 point. William figured, finishing off the tonic. By that point, then putting the bottle away, back into one of her saddlebags. That still gives you 2 points. Wow, Vision. We never said anything about deducting points. That was not an agreement. Sweet! And she just goes with it. Simon accepted. We might have tied. How about 1 point each? Vision proposed to Simon. Also, she still gets 2 points. So Vision won at the end. How about 1 point each? Vision proposed to Simon. Simon shrugged. That sounds fair, though you still get 2 points because you also hear Sanguine, and possibly myself and you as well. She gave a smug smile, and now Diane looked back at her husband. And no points for you! You used magic and you didn't hear any point either. I knew I was doomed this round, the moment she said no magic. Father Wind said, with a sigh. Oh well, at least I got treasure steal out of it. Who is really the winner then? Huh? Think about it. Sterling laughed merrily. Okay, let's switch music. We are still gonna go down. Okay then, let's see what we got here. Sam with the praise the room. They had apparently had to cross to get to a door that led to the lower floor. We got a cold storage room full of rusty chains hanging from the ceiling with rusty hooks at the end of them, and one of those hooks had torn up a half of a stallion hanging from it. Yeah! Those chains are totally not going to animate and attack us as soon as we cross to... I would say about the center of this room. No way that torn pony crossed later animate and attack us either, staring at it casually. Yeah, no. Vision said simply, then moved a few feet to the side of the room. From there, she focused at the wall, and beamed an invisible but not audible sonic ray continuously at it. What are you doing? Sam danced at the younger filly, curiously. Being smart and bypassing that obvious trap? Vision answered. Oh, come on! Cried the corpse in the frozen locker room in exasperation. What? So the corpse was... I wanted to kill you. I wanted to fight with you. Sorry, buddy. Not today. Said with a prize to the corpse. You kind of like living, so... You understand, don't you? Yeah, I guess. The Trumper said with a desperate sigh as he swung on the rusty hook on a chain. Why do I feel like Featherwind is pulling Starbreeze's leg again? I have a feeling that that's what's happening right here. The corpse didn't speak or anything. This did not happen. It's just like, oh come on. Starting blinked when something occurred to her. Then she got a vision as she asked the younger fairy. Since you are using your sonic eyes to bypass this room by damaging the wall, couldn't you have done that to the floor to get below this whole time? Also starving, couldn't you just break the whole floor? Maybe, but it would have taken extra work and time until we reached above one of the lower tunnels first. Until then, I would have to tear through solid concrete inch by inch until we reached the anti-tunnels. Besides, I kind of think it was no fun to tear our way through a bunch of baddies until we made it to this position. Having weakened the structural integrity of the wall enough with a sonic vibration, we then finished her job with a straightforward punch of a hoof. Cracks spread along the wall, more and more, until the wall finally shattered. Once that was done, she rubbed her hooves against each other to grind off the lingering amounts of dust, then gestured to a new opening with a graceful flourish. There, the new entrance awaits us. Let's go then. Starving accepted. Now she and Sanguine made their way to the new entrance. Featherwind paused for a moment as she looked back at the torn corpse of the pony inside the cold room. Then he told it, I'll be back to bury you properly as soon as I'm finished with your master. You promise? The corpse asked with an evil grin. Yes, I do. Featherwind said completely, seriously, before moving on without another word or glance back. I'm seriously thinking that Starbreeze would actually ask, wait, what? But this part is everything that the corpse is saying is just Featherwind's imagination, or at least part of his story. It didn't speak. At all. But it actually happened. He just basically pulling Starbeast's leg. And Starbeast is not following suit. She doesn't realize that she is being joked on. Like the upper floor. The lower floor of the Force Hospital absolutely required light for the interpreted adventures, except for vision. This level of the hospital was where the most bubbling was. In a way, it was essentially the sewers of the hospital. Normally it would be clean down there, because all the sewage should have remained in the pipes. But they leaked over many years. There were also a lot of steam in those tunnels, so even with Featherwind's horn light, their vision was still somewhat obscured. The dark aura felt even more oppressive down there, threatening to choke the life out of them. That was a good sign. They were drawing closer to the main objective. Can we all agree to give the game a rest now? Stabbing asked a bit nervously. We are aware what kind of opponent we are dealing with, right? I tend to agree. Stabbing put in. I don't like how much hot steam is down here, and there is just something not right about this place. Something chilling. It would have been far worse without the crystal armor. I'd have been informed. Which reminds me, how did the leaders penetrate the crystal armor earlier? But Stabbing wondered aloud. Doubtless, it really did protect her from most of her projectiles. But they've been suspected. But there were just so many of them that some of them got through by chance. I'm checking the microphone levels if you can hear that noise from outside. Doubtless those ninja attacks rolled a natural 20. Maybe they did. Wow! It's really getting super loud. They are collecting the trash again. Obviously, all the time when I'm streaming. They don't come every day, but they always come when I'm streaming. Okay then, game faces on, ponies. Vision instructed. Let's do this. They ventured down into the dark, hot and steaming tunnels. As they did, so there was an intense sense of confinement as they traveled. It made the walls feel a lot closer than they actually were. Sometimes they saw ghastly shadows reflecting of the mist, of the corner of their eyes. They also heard the sound of distant foes laughing. They echoed around the tight hallways, confusing their senses as to where the noise is actually coming from. They are back! Gave the voice of Wesley Fall. Another said, Don't gallop away! Yeah, we want to play with you! We can see in the dark, and you will too! Balloons! I want to float like a balloon! That one is different, isn't it? Jeez, creepy much? Same as with a false bravado. Exactly what he was like the last time we encountered him. Stabbing said with a firm voice, but this time we prepared to face the bastard. The Dark King hungers, said another voice. We have all become doors, and you will look so pretty when you do too. Ignore the voices. They are just an illusion. Featherwind instructed, then explained. It's just a scare tactic to get inside your heads. Yeah, I learned. Oh, it's stabbing. Okay. Yeah, I learned to deal with this long enough to learn how to sleep through this. Stabbing said in a tone that bordered on boredom. Still, it isn't my preferred lullaby, but at least I can tolerate it if I have to. They ventured on, winding around corners and wading to the jets of steam, which would have been blocked with a temporary force field. They turned it on, not encountering any direct threats to them, physically, except for occasional hot steam vents, until they reached the gigantic chamber that was actually an entire different terrain. Instead of looking artificial, it looked more like a cave structure, except there were piles upon piles of toys spread about the giant chamber. I have played enough games that I know that after this chamber there is a save point, and when they enter this chamber there is a boss battle. And we are here. Vigilance simply then pointed out at one of the mountains of toys surrounding them. The final boss of this dungeon is hiding within there. I can sense his evil crystal within. There will be a fog gate. Yep. Welcome, boomed a voice around them, which was familiar to three of them. The Dark King welcomes you to his presence, and he senses a great stain on his horse. Blasphemous! Dirty, rotten blasphemous! How dare you bring that crystal to this sacred horse? Oh, so you know that I have brought with me what I have brought with me. Father Wind observed. Good. Then you know we are prepared to face you this time. Insane laughter echoed all around them, not just from Puppet Master, but also between many ghostly foes. Around that time, one of the piles of toys began to move. Puppet Master's head emerged from the giant pile of toys. They saw the familiar black, oily paint-dripping coat of Stallion, with black flaming mane and tiny red eyes, which zipped about randomly. Sometimes he twitched spasmodically. He just continued to laugh. While it happened, the volume picked up as the echo of laughter around them intensified more and more. Just then, Featherwind suddenly understood something profound. Puppet Master, and by his earlier incarnation of a Starbucks, extended from the branch of the tree of harmony that led into laughter. Oh, now I see the title. Okay. But he became dark and corrupted. For some reason I thought something would happen to Pinkie Pie. But no. Here's a dark element of laughter. Puppet Master actually had a lot of common with Pinkie Pie if she had become a villain. Featherwind remembered times when Pinkie Pie's eyes suddenly grew small, then shifted in opposite directions, seemingly at random, but in mid-conversation with her, clearly demonstrating she was not entirely right in her head. But while her laughter was filled with life, joy and hope, Puppet Master's laughter inspired fear, insanity and despair. By directly comparing them to each other, there weren't too many differences on the surface. He was what she could have become if she were born a unicorn and suffered from the same tragedy. Since the laughter was clearly intended as a magical and psychological attack, which encountered it with high-pitched whine from her sonic eyes and cancelled out the sound of the psychic attack, she maintained it only for as long as Puppet Master did. When he stopped, he slowly withdrew his head back into the pile of toys. Oh no, you don't! Featherwind cried out in defiance. Then used his horn tactically playing Puppet Master out of the pile of toys, and it worked. He landed in a heap, then crawled back on his hooves, with highly unnatural twitchy movement, landing and contorting it in ways that would have killed, or at least severely injured, living ponies. Then the sides of his toes opened, and a bunch of spider-like legs crawled out from them, each one armed with weapons at the tips, which included, but not were limited to the following: drills, post saws, needles, spinning balls of spikes, and chainsaws. Just legs? Wait. What about their body? You just said spider-like legs crawled out from them, each one armed with weapons. What about their bodies? Quill. Because a spider-like leg is just a line. Oh, I see. It's extended because you said cut out from them. You should say extended. Because I thought that those legs were jumping out of his body and it was not part of his body anymore. now I see. Now it makes sense if you say extended. Now I see how he did that with those guards in the hallway, stabbing them out. Twist! In agony! Papa Master God! As he lifted his horn on his twitchy head, as his horn ignited with purple black energy. Rest in pain! All at once, many parts of the mountain of toys around them glowed with purple black energy. Uh-oh, Starving said nervously. Oh, what? Starving called in the same tone. He's eliminating the toys, Starving informed. Vision, can you hold it? Not all at once, Vision said back. Not even the doctor could, if you recall. Right. Starving didn't recall how Vision mentioned it. Papa must have lifted off the ground, as several of his spider-like legs pushed him off the ground. He lifted higher and higher, far higher than his observers would have expected. His many spider-like limbs, aside from the ones which held him up, bent inward menacingly as the intruders in front of him. While that happened, he laughed constantly, and his tiny red eyes kept whirling randomly about. A giant torn-up bear emerged from the pile of toys. The left side toward its rib area was torn open, which revealed a twirling metal claw beneath the ribcage. Its right arm was replaced with a chainsaw. Its left eye dangled lower on its face. It repeated the word, Mama! 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 over and over again, with an infant, high-pitched voice. It feathered its way to the adventurers, as it did with a startling speed. I don't think so. Heaven cried out and blasted the teddy bear back with a strong blast of fin and a focused horn beam. Can I move it here between these? There we go. More toys clawed at them from around them. Simon took off to try to deal with some of them, especially the ones dropping from above. Villain chopped and kicked that, and it got too close to Featherwind, while Featherwind chucked a huge pile of toys back and forth telekinetically, using the toys against themselves. As for Starving, she flew straight at the primary enemy, but was met with a bunch of limbs flying at her that she had to block with the back of her wings. It was hard to maintain her height, with neither wings flapping. So she fell, but then dove down, then curved up to uppercut the puppet master, and she did it with the enhanced strength. Immediately, his head flew off, but he didn't stop moving, and neither did she. Bringing both hooves together, she smashed into his torso and sent it crashing to the ground. From there, it crawled like a snake with instant sudden speed, like she had observed when he had charged out the hallways, using tiny steps but still moved 5 times faster than any horse could gallop. He did this to dive back into one of the many huge piles of toys. He's trying to get away. No! Starving screamed, then dove towards a pile of toys that was met with dozens upon dozens of surprise weapons swinging at her, including poisonous gases and jets of flame. It was too much at once, so she tumbled away to safety and then found herself at the back of her crystal wings. The rest of Starwing's companions fared a little better. It seemed every single toy inside this room was weaponized with some kind of hidden surprise, and it was different every single time, so nobody could accurately predict how they would be attacked each time. Where is he? Starwing demanded to know. He keeps moving around, Visual reported quickly. I have a feeling that under those piles of toys, there are actually underground tunnels, so he can move around freely. A giant toy of monkey with crazed eyes and a pair of cymbals with each hand landed in front of Starwing, then attempted to smash her between the cymbals. So basically, come on. Yep, just some stupid bug is making it far too hard. It's not exactly a picture. There we go. We have now the giant toy monkey with crazed eyes and pair of cymbals in each hand suddenly landed in front of Starwing. Right? And to smash them between the cymbals. At first it succeeded, but she pushed it back as her body flowed with moving energy, throwing down her veins. She then ripped off both cymbals and used them to smash the toy monkey to pieces. You know that I know this song, and you know what this song is, right? Because there was an MRP reaction of this. Get jinxed. The cave briefly lit up a lot further as a roar of fire soared overhead. Featherwind then Starwing thought it was an attack at first, but it turned out seeing wind shot a jet of flaming gust of wind at a bunch of piles of toys that were dropping from the ceiling and neutralized them before they hit the ground. I know, It was there for a long while. Then one of the giant piles of toys moved all at once and shaped itself into several limbs. It had roughly the shape of a horse from above the pile that had whirling eyes. Puppet Master was still laughing madly as he swung a huge pile of toys extending from a makeshift limb, crashing down into Stormwing. In response, she flared with energy, crawling down her veins, then leapt up, hard enough to make a crater where she leapt from. She shoved right through the giant pile of toys, configured into an arm, and caused it to explode. Featherwind, give me a boost! Stormwing screamed out as she dove at the giant mountain of toys from above. Aim her at the center, Vision advised. I see it. Featherwind concentrated and created a blast of wind behind Stormwing that shot her into the mountain of toys like a cannonball. The mountain of toys exploded apart, spreading its toys, some now in shambles, scattering in various directions. Unfortunately, Stormwing also hit her head hard on the other side. It momentarily dazed her, but the smaller body of Puppet Master was successfully dislodged from the larger pile of toys as well. From the ground, Puppet Master reached its limbs up, over and around itself, then pushed itself up off the ground, with barely of its torso aiming upwards. I got him! Stormwing called out as she dove at the headless torso. Knowing she had to stop him soon before he dove back into another giant pile of toys, I'm surprised that he still didn't regenerate his head. Wait! Featherwind called out. That was the only thing he had time to say. Stormwing did not quite make it to her target before one of its spider-like limbs shot at and right through her, suspending her in midair for a moment, as blood oozed from down the limb. Her eyes grew small in shock at this. A moment later, that limb went straight down, in order to smash her down into the ground, then lift her up and smash her to the ground again, over and over again, until she finally started to flapping to resist its lift. Well, she was warned that she would die. You got me, Stormwing admitted in defeat, then grabbed the limb herself. But I got you too! Sure enough, the limb tried to withdraw itself, but she added to it stubbornly, even as more blood spilled out of her. Get him now! Stormwing screamed at the top of her lungs. Protect me, she requested. I know where to attack. Not only did Featherwind cooperate with her request, he also created a crystal sword for her in midair as he technically thrust her up, over then down at the main torso of Puppet Master. Focusing on her emphatic senses, Vision grabbed the sword as she fell, then aimed her new red crystal sword stabbing downwards to move when she downward to where she sensed the dark energy was strongest, which pierced straight to the dark crystal. With it accomplished, the body froze, jolted spasmodically, then dropped to the ground. At the same time, all of the other animated toys in the room also dropped to the ground. Vision backflipped off the Puppet Master's body, just before a giant column of black magical energy exploded from and engulfed around his body. As the huge amount of negative energy the gem had as the huge amount of negative energy the gem had gathered started pouring out at once. Stormwing recovered her senses soon enough to witness this. She flew back and spread her wing in front of Vision, protectively just in case. Meanwhile, Featherwind chopped down at the limb, extending into searing wind to cut that off from the base of the body, but it's too late. The black column of energy continued to erupt for about 8 seconds before thinning out. Then the black shadow of wraith the rough shape of a horse crawled out of the body and started floating above it. Your name is Toybox, Vision called up to the shadowy spectre. Remember who you are. It is time to wake up from this nightmare. Vision reached back into a saddlebag and pulled out a toy teddy bear. This one was intact, and it was one of intense sentimental value to him, because this particular one he made for his sickly daughter, who kept having to come to Force Hospital. Upon seeing that toy, the red eyes of Puppet Master expanded into normal-sized blue eyes. He bent over to scoop up the toy that she offered. She continued to examine it, then hugged it to his chest. As he did so, the color started to flood his body. In this case, it was a baby blue coat with azure blue mane. That's right. The blue spectre said, "My name is Toybox. How could I have forgotten? I love making toys for foes. I love to see their smiles and brighten their day. I love to cheer up chick and anxious foes. This is who I am." He started to drift upwards. From above, he called down, "Thank you! Thank you all!" Then he looked up and happily saw something that excited him. He then bounced up and down exactly like Pinkie Pie often would, except he was floating in the air and slowly drifting upwards. The more he ascended, the more he faded away. Now, as a note for explanation to help cover a plot hole at this point, I need to ask Vision why she didn't just present the toy in the first place and save us the trouble of having to fight him. Well, obviously you needed to break the crystal first. She told me that while his soul was trapped inside the dark gem, it also was his perception of reality in order to keep him loyal to the Dark King. But after the gem was destroyed, he was finally able to view the reality around him without a perception filter, and his particular toy was necessary to trigger certain memories within him that would help wake him up from his otherwise perpetual nightmare. Vision didn't explain how she knew all this. She is psychic. I just assumed it had something to do with her either psychic visions of hers or just an intuitive sense. Where did you get that toy? Staring in Vision with wonder. It's a little something I scoop up from the past, Vision answered. Are you sure you are not the reason he turned into Puppet Master? If you took the toy that kept him sane from his past? Or did you take it from after he turned? So, it's finally done. Good. Simon collapsed to the ground and had strong trouble breathing. She kept coughing up blood, and it also pouring from her chest. Father Wind, Starving, and Vision all gathered around the dying Staring Wind. Can either of you save her? Starving asked hopefully. Vision did a sonic scan of Staring Wind, then sighed as she lowered and shook her head. The wind punctured through several major arteries and valves around her heart. The internal bleeding is massive. There is nothing I can do in time to save her. Don't forget we have magic, though. We have a unicorn. It should be easy to save her. Not easy, but it can be done. I mean, we are talking about someone who repaired a whole, or not just repaired, rebuilt a whole spine. I mean, yeah, it took time, but then again, he could have done, he could do some fast repairs, and then while she is stable, they can think of something. The loss he suffered was a reason for the loss of his sanity. At this point, the toy's return is helpful to him. Yep, that makes sense. It's okay, Sanguine said weakly. I got to be a hero. One last time. We saved him, and we saved every pony he would have killed. He coughed again, but far more weakly this time. I'm sorry for all the pain I caused you, Featherwind. You truly are a gifted unicorn. You all are gifted. She added as she viewed the rest. I guess I was the weakling after all. But I still have no regrets. And I'm still no weakling. You were amazing, Sanguine. Starwind said, with tears in her eyes. Wait for us on the other side, and we will gladly join you on the next adventure. I would like that. Sanguine agreed, as she grew so tired she didn't even feel pain anymore. Goodbye. And she breathed away. Starbase was in tears too. So much that she didn't realize that Featherwind had pulled her legs at one of the points of the story. And that is the end of chapter 27. That's 27? Yep, we are at 27. There are actually 2 more episodes, 2 more chapters, and 1 epilogue left. Well, that was an easy thing. What did you think? Well, compared to the Dark Star, as I said, the dealing with the Puppet Master was easy. You finished him in 1 chapter, and that's fine. You didn't need more. Also, you didn't even use the magic, the crystal. Predictions, they are gonna go for the master of all time. Not the master. I'm sorry. I said it wrongly. Master is fine. We call him Missy right now. I wanted to say the master of the Puppet Master. So the Dark King. That's what I wanted to say. They are going for the Dark King, who is King Sombra at this point. And if that's true, they have to go to the future, don't they? They have to go to the future to save the Crystal Empire. Because the Crystal Empire only comes back when the main 6 are alive. And the doctor said in your story that they have to do something to the Crystal Empire because it's part of their story. They somehow have to go to the future. And we know that the Dark King is not returning until that point. He is not manifesting. Also, they will definitely do something from behind the scenes. That's what I wanted to say. They are gonna weaken him. That's for sure. And let the finishing blow up to Spike. That's why Spike was a hero. It's not it's not like Spike was the one who was he returned the Crystal Heart but he got help. There we go. That makes more sense. But we will see. They will definitely have to deal something about the Dark Leader, who is not at this time area. And in this time, someone had gathered a great deal of negative energy. That's the Puppet Master. So basically, they will have to go and get rid of that negative energy. Or it is something that has not been said. When next reading? Let me see. So for 4 days right now, I won't be able to get here because I will work in the morning. So let's see. Let me count. 2, 3, 4 Monday. It's gonna be Monday if it's okay with you. So the plan is, on Monday we are gonna do 28. On Tuesday, the next day over, we are gonna finish 29 and the epilogue. Let's see if Dice is still awake or not. Actually, I'm not gonna read the next chapter's title just yet. So I'm just gonna watch it when I upload the next link. I think it's maybe, the epilogue is actually 980 words. So we can finish it after the chapter 29, that's for sure. And it's actually fine that we've finished up because I have to go to the toilet soon. But yeah, so on Monday morning we are gonna do the next chapter, and on Tuesday morning we are gonna finish up the rest. If that's okay with you. Now I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna stream right now. I'm gonna go and have a walk with my dogs after toilet break, and I don't know when I'm gonna be back. And of course I will have to start editing stuff as well, you know, right? But now, I'm leaving. Thank you all for being here. I hope you had fun. And see you next time. Bye bye.